Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jam Moses here back with another My Team video. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be covering the new agendas that we got for the latest addition to the Rush collection, headlined by this Galaxy Opal James Worthy, another Laker player that they want us to grind for. It's a little too much, 2K. Too many Laker players, especially this season when it comes to players that we can grind for, that we can chase in packs. It would be nice to get players from other teams like the Knicks. But anyways, moving on, I want to share what I think is going to be the best way to get each of these agendas done as efficiently as possible and with as little brain trauma as possible. The Rush 1 agendas I felt like were incredibly tedious. And yes, them extending into 2 weeks was great. These set of agendas that we just got today are also going to be live for 2 weeks. But we don't have any agendas that require us to play salary cap or unlimited, which I'm pretty happy about. But the main thing that I'm really happy about is if you take a look at the agendas here, one thing that you'll notice, at least one thing that I noticed, because when I saw the graphic last night and I saw that we had Victor Oladipo and Michael Cooper, my immediate thought was, oh my God, 2K is going to require us to get some number of steals per game in online play over however many games they pick. I had vicious flashbacks to grinding for the Diamond Paolo Banchero during the Inferno agenda set grind, but thankfully 2K didn't give us any agendas that require steals. Now, what I was thinking of doing, instead of me just going through each of these, just to make it a little bit more smooth, I'm going to show you guys the lineups that I want to run in conjunction with the respective agenda that I'm trying to complete. And in order to do that, I found this really nice post. This person on the MyTeam subreddit just took screenshots of all the different agendas on mobile and put it into one image, which I really appreciate. So, let's go through it. There are a couple of these that I've not made lineups for yet, and I'll explain why as we get to them. The Oladipo career high points. For this one, I figure your best bet is to make a lineup kind of like this one. We should all have the free MyTeam Mobile Pink Diamond Tyrese Halliburton. He's my best pacer player. Maybe you guys have the level up diamond to pink diamond Jermaine O'Neal and you'd rather score with him because he's a center. Maybe I'll end up doing that if I struggle to score with Tyrese. But I think the more challenging thing to decide on is what game mode you want to do this in. Because again, you need to score 47 points 5 times. I think your best bet is to go into the skill challenges and then complete either the Rush or this brand new Rush 2 triple threat offline style challenge. It's on pro difficulty and it's up to 60 points, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about stamina or anything like that. So I feel like this will be the most efficient way to get to the 47 points that you need with Tyrese Halliburton or whoever your pacer player of choice is. Let's go back to here and you'll see this next one here says to win 15 multiplayer games using 3 or more Laker players. And I just want to quickly take a look. You could argue that that one is going to be on par maybe with the Jazz 3-pointers. Maybe you think the Jazz 3-pointers over 100 threes over multiple multiplayer games is going to be more challenging, and maybe it will be. But I will say the Laker players, at least for me, I don't really have a ton of options when it comes to who I want to run. So that's why I don't have a lineup right now. But I'm working on the grind for Austin Reeves. And I still need something like, I don't know, 17 or 16, something like that. I need a few more triple threat offline games where I get 3 blocks with 1 player. I need to do that still, like, a few more times, to put it lightly. So once I get that done, I want to bring Austin Reeves into my triple threat online lineup with the other 2 players being Lakers so that I can hopefully have as good of a chance as I can have to get the wins. So I'll probably run some lineup with, I don't know, it'll probably end up being Austin Reeves and then the Amethyst Shaq and the Amethyst Kobe, who, they're pretty cheap in the player market. If you have the Pro Pass, I believe they are a level reward. I'm going to check off screen here. You guys can't see this. If you have the Pro Pass, they are the level 4 reward. So you get both Shaq and Kobe. So you can just run those 3 cards. That way you have a big in Shaq, even though he can't shoot. He'll be a diamond with the Kobe dynamic duo. and then you can hopefully just cook with Austin Reeves. So that's what I would do for that one. Moving on to the Jazz three-pointers, I think this one is going to be relatively challenging for a number of people, especially if you have not been, grinding the game. And, I mean, I think if you did the Inferno agenda set like I did, I think you're actually going to be in pretty solid shape, because one of the players from that Inferno agenda set is one of my favorite players that I've been using in my team over the last month and a half to 2 months, and that's Andrei Kirilenko. And then along with him, I'm going to be bringing Taylor Hendricks. And as of now, Jordan Clarkson. I was debating bringing Gordon Hayward. And really, besides those cards, I really don't have anyone else that's worth bringing. I can take a quick look here, but I'm pretty sure I had no other Jazz players that really interested me all that much. Yeah, no, I mean, they're all rubies and below. I'm not going to be bringing any of these guys. I forgot that we got a Matt Harpering earlier in the year as a, a season 3 level up or level reward card. That whole season was such a disaster. Anyways, moving on. That's the lineup I'm going to be running for the Jazz threes. One thing also, like, especially with this agenda set, and even with the Laker wins in multiplayer games, whether you play in unlimited, salary cap, clutch time online, or triple threat online, you need to remind yourself that, like, mental health comes first. If you go on like a losing streak, it doesn't matter. You don't need to win 15 games in a row with Laker players. You don't need to make 100 3-pointers in a row with Jazz players. You don't have to win the games that you get those 3-pointers with Jazz players. I mean, I completed the salary cap, or I should say I completed the dunk agendas for Jerry Stackhouse in salary cap, and I went 10-5. I got all my dunks done in the minimum number of games that would have been required, right? 15, because we had to get 3 dunks with a player 15 times in salary cap or unlimited, and I got them done in 15 games. And I would say, and I'm not trying to say that if I were to sweat in the games that I lost, I would have come back and won. I would say 4 of those 5 losses, I would say confidently for sure I would have lost, even if I leaned forward, locked in, and sweat my ass off trying to win the game. But I kind of treated it like Kawhi Leonard does and other, older superstars do in the NBA currently. I'm a big believer in load management, even if that load management is, mental stress. I thought that if I just kind of sandbagged the game after I got my 3 dunks and I got the game done more quickly, I would A, have more time to get these games done, and B, I would have more energy to get these games done. Whereas if you play in a really sweaty, it's easier to mitigate in triple threat online, but let's say you're playing, games with these Laker players in unlimited and you're stuck in a crazy sweat. I mean, why would you do that to yourself? Now you're going to finish that game, win or lose, and you're going to be drained of your energy. And, we only have 14 days to get these agendas done. And, there are people out there who have a lot of free time to get these agendas done. And if that's the case, maybe just disregard everything I've been saying for the last 2 minutes. But if you're like me, if you're a little bit older and you have a lot of other responsibilities in life and you don't have as much time to give to playing video games or to playing MyTeam, well then, yeah, I think you should strongly consider taking my advice. And, sometimes you gotta just know when to quit while you're ahead. And if it leads to a loss, it leads to a loss. I don't care about my records in any of these games. I care about getting these agendas done in a reasonable manner. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Moving on, 76ers fast break points. I'm actually gonna loop this in with my block agendas. You can see here I have a blocks and fast break. So I've been getting blocks mostly with Larry Sanders. I've found him to be one of the best centers for getting blocks for me when it comes to Emerald and lower, because I try and keep my gem tier low in triple threat offline so that I have an easier time getting blocks against gold, emerald, and sometimes sapphire point guards. And then I'm bringing Tyrese Maxey just because he's a shorter gold shooting guard for the Sixers, and Kelly Oubre because I'm hoping that Larry Sanders can be put on whoever Tyrese Maxey's matchup is, so I can get blocks. And then once I get a block with Larry Sanders, I'll look to outlet to ideally Kelly Oubre, who should be racing down the court much more quickly than Tyrese Maxey, and then getting a fast break layup, because you need to get 100 of these points. So this one's going to be, I think, sneaky tedious, but the fact that it's offline kind of makes it really nice. I may try and grind this out while I'm watching the Knicks play against the Hawks tonight, So yeah, I really appreciate that this is offline and not online, because fast break online would have been very annoying, like incredibly annoying. So yeah, moving on here. Nuggets points in the paint. I actually kind of like this because when I was grinding for Hakeem Olajuwon back in December, my favorite clutch time offline lineup to run, I believe at the time, that's the wrong lineup, right here, Nuggets points in the paint, included Bol, and then eventually Larry Sanders at center. But Bol, he's a Denver Nuggets player. He is a ton of fun, and now I'm honestly realizing I'm probably better off also bringing like more Nuggets players. Why don't I just make this like a full Nuggets lineup? So, we're kind of, thinking on the fly here. Kind of proud of myself for catching that. But there are a number of free Nuggets players I think that we've gotten. I think, well, Bones Highland wasn't necessarily free, but he's really cheap. He's a Sapphire. Maybe you got him from one of those New Year's resolution packs. Um, yeah, there are a lot of really solid options here that you could bring. My one tip with this is to try and keep your gem tier low for clutch time offline, because at least for me, I find it much easier to take advantage of the CPU when they're, the players are lower overall than higher overall. And so yeah, trick out your clutch time offline lineup with whoever you want. But if you have Bol, use him, and if you don't have Bol, buy him and use him. He's probably dirt cheap, and he's so much fun to use. He gets so many blocks. He's so athletic for an 82 overall Emerald Center card. So you can't even see my lineup. Oh my goodness. Well, it doesn't even matter because you can't even you don't see any other Nuggets players besides Bol here. But all I was showing was the different Nuggets players I have in my lineup. I've no one else really that special. But I will probably add at least 2 or 3 more Nugget players to this lineup. Ideally, I would say maybe bring a point guard. Like, let's take a look at what point guards I have who play for the Nuggets. I don't know why I'm going the long way here, but I'd probably bring like the aforementioned Bones Highland. You could bring Earl Boykin if you want. Honestly, how about this? Bring Nick Van Exel, and then at small forward is Posey. Posey's a Grizzly, that's fine. But you could do this because the CPU will still treat Nick Van Exel and James Posey as emeralds, even though they have a dynamic duo, which makes them both rubies. I would do this, and then you can score with Nick Van Exel or Bol in the paint, and just spam pick and roll every single time. You should get this agenda set done. If you're really good, probably in as quick as 4 games, maybe 5 games. If not, if it takes you, even more, that's totally fine. Just get it done. I feel like this is a really easy agenda to complete. And then last but not least, you have the 5 triple threat offline wins in a row using Raptor players. This should be incredibly easy. I didn't even make a lineup, but we can take a look and see if there are any Raptor players who I have that I think most people would have. Let's take a look. Well, we have, if you played the game in Season 3, you'll have the Andrea Bargnani and the Terrence Ross. I'll probably bring Terrence Ross, DeMar DeRozan, and Andrea Bargnani. But again, it is triple threat offline, so maybe you're better off going with lower tier cards. So I may end up taking, I may honestly go Fred VanVleet, Jamario Moon, because I really like how Jamario Moon plays for me in offline games. And then maybe Bismack Biyombo. That could be my 3, because Bismack gets every single board. Every rebound is his, I feel like, for the most part. So you could do something like that and get your 3 wins, or sorry, get your 5 wins in a row, and then, then you get Grady Dick. So, yeah. And then I think that's basically it. So I think that's all I'm going to cover. I'm not going to do any gameplay because this video is already probably running for much longer than I need it to be. I realize, again, you guys can't see what was on my screen. It doesn't really matter. You guys can see them all now. These are the players I probably run. So Fred VanVleet, Jamario Moon, and Bismack Biyombo. Yeah, so again, I'm going to try and stream a little bit later. It is currently just about 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to go live. I'm going to maybe try and go live closer to like an hour and a half to 2 hours from now. And this video is going to be getting uploaded immediately. So if you're watching this video right when it drops, keep your eyes peeled for a stream if you want to see that. If you want to have, someone in the background screaming at his, screen while he's playing MyTeam, and you want to have that as background noise while you're doing the Rush 2 agenda grind, I would be more than happy to have your company, because misery loves company when it comes to these kind of things. So anyways, best of luck to all of you guys grinding for these agendas. Again, I'm really happy that there are no steals required. I personally think that this agenda set is easier than the Rush 1 agenda set, or at least it's not as tedious. I mean, the 3 blocks, or sorry, the 3 blocks over 30 triple threat offline games, and the 3 dunks over 15 salary cap and or unlimited games was and still is brutal for me. I'm still dealing with those blocks. How many more of those do I need? I was talking about it earlier. I'm curious. I need 16 more. 16 more games with, oh my god, that's way too many blocks, man. I don't want I don't want to deal with that. Ugh, but it's fine. I think that's what, 48 more blocks. So 48 more blocks that I can't stack. Thank you, 2K. But yeah, and also I'm assuming that we can't stack these Rush 2 agendas. So just treat these as unstackable and just move on with your life, man. I mean, this will be stackable because it's not in a game, so you can just keep throwing fast break passes out to whoever you want to bring with you and triple that offline. So anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here. I will see you guys hopefully in stream a little bit later on this afternoon, but until then, I'll see you later.